Hey, what's up, guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Albert Zertuche, and I've got this 82 speed that we are spooling up. It's the second one that the customer has purchased, and we are going to be adding 200-pound test to it. So, while looking through our 200-pound test lines, we have noticed that we do not have the color that he wants with enough line to fill up the whole reel. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to spool it up and take note of where we are splicing the line. And this is the beauty of the hollow core braids, because yes, if we are splicing it, it is brand new line. However, this can be used to his advantage, so that way when he's kayaking out bait and or fighting a monster fish, he knows, okay, I've hit my first splice, I'm at this much yards left on the reel. If I hit the second splice or whatever, it can be used to really be able to say exactly, hey man, this is where I'm at, this is what the fish is doing, I mean, this is what I need to do to ensure I don't get spooled out or whatever it may be. Or even kayaking out a bait, he'll know where he needs to stop to find that sweet spot of where he thinks the fish are at. So, or he finds them, hey man, they're only 300 yards out. By having a 300-yard top shot gives him that exact number while he's kayaking to get into that range right there. So
gotta bite. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I gotta learn. I'ma call up the whole team.
that is going to be something else that I am going to have to do as well. And what I mean by that, it just brought to mind another video I have to do. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and then we'll go 10 on this one. And what I meant by doing another video is to, when guys have a 300-yard top shot, they also need to have an understanding that if they have bow in the line, that 300 yards is not 300 yards from point A to point B with the curve in that line or the bow going in. So you literally would have to kayak out further to make sure when you do take the bow out of the line, that when that splice hits the reel, it is at 300 yards without a bow. But if it is with a bow, then you have to go out further to compensate for that bow taking up extra yardage. And that's the tough one there. It's a best guess at that point, because there's no way to really say exactly where they're at unless they're using some kind of drone or some kind of device on where the bait is dropped to ensure that they are 300 yards out, or 500 or 600 or whatever it may be, unless they have some kind of markings on the line or have been doing it for so long like I have that we can really get a good guess at how far out we are just by reading the spool. And you know, this comes from spooling thousands of these 80s and stuff like that. To I call this the anaconda knot. I'm going to lock the spool over right here, and then as I pull on the line, you'll see the threads start to tighten up. Let me get a little further in. It's in there. See that? See those threads over here move and tighten up and basically cinch around the spool arbor. Even though it's completely smooth and has no grip, this knot acts as a locking point. Once the pressure is put on it, it will re-lock down. So that is the whole point of using this style of knot compared to other ones that have been put all over the internet. And yes, some guys got crazy amount of views. However, it's setting you up for failure, because if the line starts to twist on the spool or slip on the spool, you are going to be running into some damaged line later on because of the snake-like effect. And you can watch these YouTubers watch their reel when it's going off. If you see, like, you know, a snake-like effect, and I'm talking where all the lines look like wavy hair on the spool, then their line is slipping on the spool, and that's not good. So here we go. Go ahead and lock this over, and we're gonna start spooling up this reel. That I gotta cut off. That's another thing too. We have noticed that these stickers that they use to hold the braid on there, it leaves a sticky film on the braid. So when you try to splice into the next one, that sticky film is transferred to the braid itself, and it doesn't allow you to do a hollow core splice good. It messes it up. So just future reference, guys, if you ever have that, go and cut that out and then start your splice from there. So we're at 180 yards of the inner core right there. I'm going to go ahead and splice into my next color and go and add that in. I'm going to go and jump to red, and we'll go from there.
This is the best one to get.
Hard life. Yes, we are. It's on its way to us. We should get it by Thursday. Yep. That's what we're being told. Yes. Did they send you the video of the fishing rod? We're trying to get it done up for you. Yep. Gee. Awesome. Well, yeah, no, we're okay. It's a 81 30-pound class rod. It will have the rollers on there and stuff like that with the unibutt, so that way you can detach it and make it smaller, so it's easier for travel. And yeah, no, it's a really great rod. I've pulled in dozens of 12-footers. Well, not even dozens. Sorry, I'm exaggerating. Between 10 to 12 foot, I've pulled in over a dozen tiger sharks with a rod of that size. So yeah, no, it'll be 7.5. Yes, I actually originally designed it for that size of reel, but I upgraded to the 80s once I realized that I needed more line to do the fishing that I like to do. So yeah, it'll either be ready tomorrow or the day after, and we're sitting right at 1,000. Now I know you're doing cash, so that's all it will be. I'll take care of the taxes and everything else, since you are buying the reel and everything too. So yes, no, definitely sleep on it, because yeah, it's a lot of money. But I wanted to give you first dibs on it. If not, then I will go public. Well, I'm going public with it once it gets here, but I can let them know it's already sold or not sold. So you got a few days to think on it. No worries. Blue Falcon fishing rods. It's a couple of veterans that got out of the military, and they like that name, Blue Falcon. Yes, they are local vets here. They actually grew up in the government projects that they grew up in too. So Yeah, no, as soon as I get it in hand, I'll let you know that it's in, because I'll be spooling it up since you already have the line here, and then when the rod gets here, we can meet up at that point too. So. Yes, he was talking about coming by to get leaders and weights and stuff like that. So. Oh, yeah. Yes, ma'am. All right, bye-bye. Hard life. This is Albert. What's up, bro? The chemical makeup that they're using to make the monofilament is not the same as what it used to be. The mono used to have a lot more texture, is the best way I could describe. It was stronger. It didn't pinch off as easily. You know what I mean? So when you actually took a grip of it, it was strong. You know what I mean? Now we crimp it and it's slipping through the crimps, and so we're thinking it's the sleeve or it's this, it's that, and finally, man, I was like, man, I crimped the crap, and I kept crimping, trying to get it to stick, and what it was doing was I was actually weakening the integrity of the line, because with monofilament, when you crimp it, you mess. You mess with the integrity of the line. So instead of it being 100-pound test, it's now 70-pound test or 60-pound test. And the more you crimp it, you make it weaker and weaker. And so with the stress tests that I was doing, I was still pulling the monofilament through it, but I also weakened the line, so I was breaking the mono inside the sleeve. And it was nowhere near 100 pounds. It is. Like I said, the structure, the framework of the monofilament is not what it used to be prior to COVID. After COVID is when we noticed all of this just went to shit. What you can do is hit it with a little bit of heat, like a hot air gun. But just remember, don't keep your fingers in that same spot. Like tie the knot, stretch your swivel or stretch it with something, and just come over it with the light heat from a hot air gun or even a blow dryer. Just enough, because the monofilament has line memory. So once you get it tied up and it has that line memory, it will stay like that. Basically like a king on a backlash. You can't get them out. You know what I mean? And there you go. Well, it is, but it actually isn't. Because if you actually timed it, how long it took you to tie that knot on both sides, because you still have to tie a knot on both sides, because you still got to attach it to your swivel or whatever you're attaching it to. You're still investing that time. So actually time yourself tying one and then crimping one, and you'll see that crimping is so much faster. Get away from those. Yeah, that was one of the biggest ones that we started having problems with right off the bat. The aluminum is not as strong as they are. It's only on the smaller stuff. On the big stuff, like 400-pound test, they work just fine. But on the smaller stuff, the 50-pound, 60-pound, 80-pound, 100, 130, they will slip. Yeah. Well, ours start out at 40-pound test and go all the way up to 1,200, or 1,200 pound. Halibut. Yes, sir. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yes. All the color is attractants to get the fish to come near where they're at. Because you got to think too, they're attracted to sight as well. So they'll be sight feeding on specific colors. And those colors will change from day to day depending on the water clarity, overcast, you know, if it's cloudy that day or super sunny, I mean, no current, with current. So it just changes it all. Oh, wow. Yes, sir. It definitely does. Yes, sir, it does. All right. Yeah, no worries. No worries, boss. Yes, sir. Bye-bye. Awesome. That's what the channel is for, guys, is to be helping people with knowledge. And that's another call just letting us know that we're doing a pretty good job of doing it. Alright guys, that's 600 yards, a 200-pound test, and yep, we're coming up. What he also wants me to do is put a 300-yard top shot, so I'll be stopping here in a little bit to switch out the color again, and we'll get it set up. Boom, right at 800 yards, and that's still a little shy of being able to get 300 yards of top on there. So I might have to go up with a little more color before I can get there, because actually yeah, I need a little bit more. So let me change out to this 200-pound of chartreuse, and then we'll go with the last little bit to get 300 yards. Or what I can do to ensure that I get 300 yards is do it on this color, and obviously I'm gonna, yeah, I got this. I got this. Watch this. I'm gonna like this one. So. Need to go a little further in. Okay, sorry. Alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spool on the 300 yards that I need for the top shot, and then I'm going to put the other color on there, and this will ensure that I get him his 300 yards. Wow, that's a beautiful color combo right there. All right, well, it's 250. That's pretty close. We got a lot more braid coming in, but we're going to set it off right here. Go and go with our final color here. Actually, that might actually do the whole 300 yards right there on the top shot. So I'm stopping right there because it's flush with the spool. I mean, it's over just a hair, but he wanted a little bit of gap, and we're at 1,350 yards. So that's exactly the 300 yards of top shot that he was looking for. But I do have to take it back down because the splice that I did to the green and the red was not a good one, because I didn't know that it was going to be exactly where I needed to be. So there we go. Let me go and fix that real quick. Yes, this is Albert with Hard Life.
Okay.
And then
the shrimp.
No, this
crab.
is the crab. Yes.
Okay. Okay. 157. Those. Okay, so I've got those.
The electric chicken crab, I need 164.
Okay.
Flesh pink crab, I need 159. Okay, and do the power lime shrimp, 170.
Okay.
I need electric chicken shrimp, 170 packs.
170 of the shrimp. Okay.
170 of the flesh pink shrimp. How much do you have of that?
I'm out completely.
Okay. So what I need to do then,
which I can put those on order whenever we order this other stuff, once I know if you want to do that, or I mean, if you want to substitute for what you need right now, we can do that.
What I'm going to have to do is substitute 150 of those between the other flavors then.
Okay.
Because I sold 900 to a distributor, and then the rest is coming to me.
Okay. Get my paper here. So you want to do 150 between those last 5 that we did?
Yes.
Okay. We can add 30 to each.
That'll
each one of those.
That'll work.
Okay. Got those down. Changed those over.
So now it'll be 187 of the power lime crab, 194 of the electric chicken crab, 189 of the flesh pink crab, 200 of the power lime shrimp and the electric chicken, and then 170, or we don't have no flesh pink. Okay.
We don't have that.
Yeah. That'll be it for right now. 970 packs of fish bites. Now I can go and splice this in correctly and get it spooled up. Get these reels out. Well, we'll do it, man. Get on it. Fucking.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And now that I was able to repack it, I cleaned it up a little bit because it was kind of balled up on the sides right here, but we are good to go. Lovely.